fantastic. And hers touched my heart. As I told someone today, I came today from Connecticut, where I live, and I was selfishly hoping to find a school that was more geographically suitable for my travels. But after reading Alexis's essay, I said, they would probably appreciate a visit more in Chicago. Before I start off my remarks, which will be not too long because I know that you probably have party. I have a graduation tomorrow morning of my 5th oldest grandchild. We have 13 grandchildren, and this granddaughter is graduating from school in Connecticut, in Milford, Connecticut, and she's on her way to college. California, and her graduation is 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So, I'm not going to be able to be here for your entire ceremony, and I wanted you to know why. Otherwise, it would have been a joy for me to actually present each of you with your diplomas. But I have to be there, otherwise I am persona non grata with my 5th oldest grandchild. So now that we've taken care of the disclaimers, it's a joy and an honor for me to be here today to celebrate the 2015 graduating class of Chicago High School. I've come a long distance to wish you a hearty congratulations for reaching an educational milestone. For some of you, it's just the jumping off place in your long education. You'll be going on to other schools. For others, the education will continue with life's work and life's lessons. But for all of you, it begins a new chapter, because this is the chapter where you move forward to adulthood and that word, responsibility. I know that all of you have some awareness that I'm a judge and I'm a TV program. But before I launch into a graduation address and advice, it's only fair for you to know a little bit about me, a little bit about something personal. And I digress from the written word for a moment to tell you that I wish I had put this speech in larger font. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, with middle-class working parents who taught me ethics by example. I was an unremarkable student with passable looks and a direct personality. Nothing, and I tell you nothing, in my early childhood suggested to anyone, except perhaps my father, that one day I would be standing here and be known simply as Judge Judy. A combination of tenacity and luck brought me here today. I found my passion in the law, and the rest was hard work and a dash of serendipity. What have I learned along the way? Number one, and I want you to blaze this into your brain, you only have one chance to make a first impression. I'm going to repeat it. You only have one chance to make a first impression. If you post that stupid post on Facebook, or send out that ridiculous picture on Instagram, and the school or your employer for your first job checks you out and finds that picture, you'll never get into that school and you'll never get that job. So, and when you go for that first interview, make sure you're dressed for the job. You're not going to a beach. You're not going to a soccer game. You're going for a job interview.
Trying to do two things at once.
So, You only have how many chances to make a first impression? My second bit of advice, or what I've learned over my lifetime is, and this probably is good advice for all of you, you have to find something that you're naturally adept at, that you're naturally good at, that comes easy to you, and that you excel in, whether it's academics or reading or science or math or carpentry or welding or drilling, whatever it is, or mechanics, whatever it is that you're naturally good at. And really try to figure out a way to make a living at it. Because if you do that, every day will be a joy. Every day will be a pleasure. Because most of us spend at least 8 hours a day, every day, 30, 40, in my case, a few more years, working. I think, wouldn't it be wonderful to do something that you actually enjoy? And if you actually enjoy something and can make a living at it, to figure out how to take care of yourself and your family, your life's journey is that much more full of passion and joy. And that's something that you're all entitled to. Never let anyone or anything define your value or limit your dream. And I'm going to tell you a short story. As I told you before, I was an average student, but I was a miserable standardized test taker. Have you all taken standardized tests? I was the worst. You know those tests that say, the donkey left Mexico traveling with 6 loads of rice, and it made 19 stops before it got to Chicago, and on every stop it lost a quarter of its amount of rice in each bag. How much rice was left when it went to Chicago? I said, how do you figure that out? That was what to me a standardized test was. And I was terrible at standardized tests. And I knew when I took my SATs, which you had to take back then in order to get into college, that my marks were terrible. And so what did I do? I applied to college for I sort of finished the classes that I needed to take in high school, so instead of applying to a whole bunch of other people in September, limiting the possibility that I would be admitted, I applied in January, so I'm actually going to have a formal high school graduation because I started college 6 months early. Not because I was a genius, but because I understood what my limitation was, and once I got into school, it would be fine, but I couldn't take a standardized test. When I graduated from college and I had to take the exams to get into law school, they were the same standardized tests, the same donkey leaving with the same rice getting to Chicago. I knew that it wasn't for me. So I planned my education by going to a college that had a companion law school and entered into a program where they had no choice. As long as I graduated from college, they had to admit me. I knew once I got in, I would be fine. And then I got into law school, and I had a very chauvinistic professor assigned to me. And his first question when he met me was, why are you taking the seat of a man who's going to have to use the profession to make a living to support his children? Those things and those kinds of people seek to define you. No one should ever define you except the limit of your own dream. Finally, whatever you do, whether it's in school or at work, and even if the work is not your passion, do it to the fullest extent of your ability. Because to do it with any less passion than the fullest extent of your ability, you're really selling yourself short. When I went to high school and I went to college, I wasn't curious enough. I wanted to get to law school. I knew what I wanted to be, so I didn't take time to appreciate the classes that I was in. I didn't give each of them my full attention and my full effort. I was selling myself short. Don't make that mistake. Every class that you can take, should you go on to higher education, every job that you have, if you give it to the full extent of your ability, you're really benefiting of yourself. When I was coming here today, I said, you know, I have certain principles. But I was really curious as to what questions you have as graduates for me. Because, well, a celebrity coming and talking about themselves is very interesting sometimes. But your questions were valuable to me. And I picked out a few of the ones that you selected, and you know who you are, who wrote these questions. I don't want to make an attempt to answer some. First one was, growing up, did you think you would be as successful as you were? Of course not. You know, we all dream that we're going to be famous movie actresses or famous athletic stars or be the CEO of the company. But I tell you, nothing in my wildest dreams suggested to me when I was 18 years old. One day I was standing here, known as Judge Judy, dressing in class. 118 graduates of Sugarloaf High School. I had flown from Connecticut with my wonderful family, some of my wonderful family, and enjoyed the fantasy life that the last 20 years have been. Nothing could suggest that. But if you give it your best effort, you never can tell. It's a lot of luck and serendipity, but it's God's regard. And then when you graduated, did you know what you wanted to do, or did you change your mind? I already answered that question. I knew what I wanted from the age of 10. I was lousy in math, I was lousy in science. Actually, I'm still can't if you want to show you the bird usually house there. I hate recited blood, so I couldn't be a doctor. And I knew that I wanted to become a professional because I always felt that my writers had this instinctively that the only way to be truly independent, whether a man or a woman, but particularly in those years as a woman, was to be totally financially independent. You had to make it because you wanted to stay in marriage, because you wanted to stay in marriage, because you had to. All of those things were important for me. But the time I was very little. I think I was inspired by parents who never limited me by saying, you know, girls, you need to be a teacher or a nurse. Those were the only two accepted professions when I was growing up. I was the only one in my first year of high school class, only one, 126 people. So, and today, more than 51% of the graduate class in more percentage of professional schools are women. So, I'm letting you define yourself. There will be challenging times ahead. Was the last question. What's the best way to get through them? And here's some really good advice. I'm sure your family has given you this advice. This old lady will give it to you again. Organize in your life what you can organize. Because life has a way of throwing you a curveball. And the only way that you're going to be able to negotiate those curveballs is to keep what you can neat. And I'm not just talking about room, although that's a good start. I'm talking about your apartment, your home, your car, your bills, your mail, everything that you can organize in your life. Organize it. Don't put off something to tomorrow, you know. No, you don't put off for tomorrow what you can do today, not now, but today. But it's all true. Because when things are
Is he chubby?
it's very hard to negotiate life's. It's a stereotype. Life's curveballs, what you don't expect. Keep your word, because ultimately that's what we have as human beings, being a non-verbal person. Tell the truth all the time, because if you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. Have you heard me say that before? I'm going to say it again. Tell the truth, because if you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. Go back to something else. How many chances do you get to make a first impression? When you have a family of your own, lead by example. Because ultimately, irrespective of celebrity or fame or money or position or power, the legacy that you leave is family. There are only two things that are guaranteed in this life: your entrance and your exit. In between is the journey. And my wish for all of you is that your journey be a walk in beauty.